Right, so morning and welcome everybody. I would like to say a deep, deep sense of gratitude to Milani, because without her none of this would take place or would even possibly begin to take place without her love and kindness and encouragement. So deep thank you, Milani. So take your hands to the buttocks and withdraw the buttock flesh back so that whatever you have taken to sit upon, I'm not sure what props you all have available to you, maybe none, maybe many, but for this morning, just seat yourself into Swastika-san, really grounding yourself, earthing the base of the pose, allowing it to surrender into gravity. And from that surrendering, earthening, ease the spine upwards, the buttocks grounded, feeling whatever you are sitting on, and the spine in between the buttocks vertically easing upwards. Bring your palms into Atmanjali Mudra, resting the base of the thumbs in front of the heart space. The eyes softly rest closed, allowing the top eyelid to rest to the bottom. And softening the eyes back, letting the inner eyes recede to the back of the head, the outer eyes to soften to the temples. Soften the tongue to the floor of the mouth. Allow the lips to become full and soft. Creating that little smile at the corners of the lips. And allowing that smile to melt down into your heart center. And the heart center to open upwards, outwards, into and beyond that space at the base of the palms. And invite your breath to breathe into that heart open space. Radiating upwards, outwards on the inhale, softening, surrendering on the exhale. And for your next 3 exhalations, allow yourself to silently chant Om. Right from the base of the pose, allowing the A to begin as the M starts to resonate and vibrate in the crown of the head. So exhale completely. Have a full inhalation, smooth, soft, internal Om, right from the base of the pose. A-U-M. Bow your head to your heart and make your own inner acknowledgements. Press the back of your hands onto your inner knees. Raise your head. Softly let the eyes come. Take your right hand onto the floor. And from there, extend the left arm up and over. Soften the inner elbow of the right arm and extend through the left fingertips. Lengthen, spread, and open these left side ribs, front, back, and the side seam of the trunk. And breathe into and out from that space. Those side ribs, the side lungs spread and open. And then reaching up through the fingertips as you inhale. On the exhalation, ease up and over. Now opening these right side ribs. Breathe into and out from those ribs. Deep, full inhalation, long, soft exhalation. And from that inhale, come sitting up. Ease your legs away from you. Allow the back of the knees to open. And when your knees feel ready, cross your legs the other way. Once more. Taking the right arm down, extending the left arm up and over. And breathe into those left side ribs. Open them upwards. Create space in those side ribs for the lungs to expand and fully open. And then from there, inhale, come up, and on the exhalation once more. Pin your right buttocks down so that you really can lengthen into the right fingertips. Opening those side ribs fully. Let your full focus, your breath be in those side ribs, opening, creating internal space for the lungs to expand. Appreciate this breath as you fully breathe in, fully breathe out. Inhale, come sitting down. From there, remove your support if you have one. Bring the heels, the big toes close and knees apart so that the side ribs come to rest on your inner thighs, and extend your arms forward. As you reach through to the fingertips, draw the upper arms back into the shoulder socket. So there's a sense of reaching the inner arms away from you, but the outer upper arms drawing back to move the shoulder into the socket and open the elbow, the armpits outwards and forwards, and then place your head on the floor. Adho Mukha Virasana. So from those lower side ribs that you were breathing into, extend all the way through the armpits, the inner upper arms to the fingertips. Root down through your index finger, your thumb, roll your inner upper arms up and out. And then pin the shoulder into the socket so the armpit opens, spreads, and lengthens. And now pressing the fingers into the floor, like you're going to scrub the mat forward. Pin your outer hips back and down. So these upper buttocks become long and the lower back can broaden and spread. And holding the pose as it is, as you breathe out, broadly soften the navel back so that the abdomen rests into that space you've created in the back body. Your awareness in the abdomen, the lower back. Feel how the lower back starts to spread open and warm. And then from there, come up onto all fours. Bring your hands in line with your shoulders once more. Rooting down through the index finger, the thumb. Draw the upper arms into the shoulder socket, rolling the inner upper arms out so that as you tuck your toes under and come up, the armpits open outwards, lengthwise, broad, settling the shoulders into the socket. Release your head from that. And then lift up onto the balls of the feet.
Spread across the arches of the balls of the feet and have the heels vertically above the balls of the feet. Lift your knees, all four corners of the knees. Strongly draw up the thighs. Those tight leggings that I so often refer to, lift them all the way into the hip socket. And then moving these front thighs back, lift the pubic plate towards the sternum, and keeping the front thighs moving back, lift the buttocks as you descend the heels. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Having set up the legs, the arms, the limbs, the trunk, take your awareness to the breath. And for the next 3 exhalations, breathe out, broadly spreading the abdomen back to the spine, like you did in Adho Mukha Virasana. So the inhale will have to be fuller to make the exhale longer, sharper. And then from there, keeping that sense of settling the abdomen back, come forwards. Halakasana, plank pose. Reaching the heels back, front thighs to back thighs. Pubic plate towards the sternal notch. Replug those upper arms into the shoulder socket. And reach the sternum, reach the base of the skull forwards. Abdomen, broadly back. As you breathe out, abdomen, broadly back. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, lift the hips, the buttocks, descend the heels. Front thighs back, pubis to sternal notch, abdomen back. Breathe. Inner upper arms externally rotating. And come down. Adho Mukha Virasana. So just come sitting up for a moment. Take whatever is comfortable for you, Vajrasana, resting onto the heels, or Svastikasana if the knees are an issue. Just to focus a little on this upper arm rotation. Ease up your left arm, reaching through the fingertips. Once more, that extension through the inner upper arm to the fingertips. The retracting of the upper arm into the shoulder socket as you draw your triceps down into the shoulder. Then take your hand, I'm going to turn slightly backwards. Take your hand to your shoulder joint and broaden and spread across the shoulder joint so that the whole of this inner upper arm rotates that way. What will happen is that the hand will turn as well. And you want to keep your hand onto the shoulder joint, settle the shoulder into the socket so your armpit opens, and then maintaining that, you can turn this hand back to center once more. So let's do that with me facing forwards once more. So extend your left arm up. Take your right hand to that shoulder joint itself and spread it away from the spine. Roll your inner upper arm out and turn the whole of your forearm, your palm to face the wall behind you. Now, keeping that upper arm deeply into the shoulder socket, puff out your right armpit and turn your left armpit, and turn your hand to face forwards. Keeping that left upper arm rotating out. Let's do the other arm. Raise your left arm up. Take your right hand to...
Other one.
Sorry. Yeah.
Start again. No, it's fine. So you just do it again.
Yeah, I'm not having taught for a while. Okay. Raise your right arm up. And now take your left hand to that shoulder socket. Move it into the shoulder socket. Puff out your armpit and then spread that shoulder away from the spine, rotating that whole inner upper arm back, palm back, forearm back, keeping the upper arm externally rotating. Allow from the elbow, your forearm, your hand to face forwards. Puff out that armpit. See how far you can take that right arm back. Open that armpit a little more. And then from there, release. So let's repeat that left arm, taking it up. Take your hand to that shoulder joint, move it in, spread it out, turn the arm, rotate the palm back, and now keeping the palm facing back like that, bend your elbow and place your hand on your upper back. Release your right arm, extend it away from you. Roll that shoulder back, rotate the inner upper arm out, and now turn the palm, the forearm forwards, keep that upper arm rolling out, shoulder rolling back, take your hand back. If you can't reach the palms for Gomukha-san, don't worry, just grip your t-shirt, your jersey for today. Stabilize your bottom arm, your right arm, and reach your left elbow up to the ceiling. Externally rotating this inner upper arm, settling the shoulder into the socket, puff out, spread, lengthen that left armpit, open it upwards, and then release. Take your right arm up, left hand to that right shoulder, move it into the socket, spread it, puff, open this armpit, roll the whole of that arm back. Inner upper arm, elbow, forearm, hand, bend the elbow. Place it to wherever it comes on your back. Stretch your left arm out. Roll the shoulder back, move it into its socket, puff out the armpit, rotate from the elbow, the forearm in. So this is externally rotating, this is internally rotating. Take your hand onto your back, Gomukha-san, head of the cow. Ease and draw that right elbow up, puff out that right armpit, right shoulder deep into the socket. So the left arm is stabilizing the pose for you while the right arm lengthens, extends. And then release, let go. Once more, come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. Big toes together, buttocks to heels. Please, if for whatever reason you can't get to the heels, take whatever support you have around you. If you've got blankets, roll the blanket into the back of the knees so that the buttocks is not at any stage hovering. If you have pillows and you don't have foams, place the pillows there so the buttocks can rest. You might be tipping a little more forward, it doesn't matter. For those of you with knee issues, you can put your foams onto the calves, the thighs, or draw your pillows in, your blankets in, just so that you get a sense that the buttocks can ease and release. Because when the buttocks soften here and they can let go onto a support, your inner groins can soften and release. And as I so often repeat, these need to remain soft at all times. When the groins can soften, the abdomen can broadly spread and soften. Once more, reaching the arms forward, Adho Mukha Virasana. Reaching and pressing the fingers forward and down, retract the upper arms into the shoulder socket. So now it's just like you did in Gomukha-san. You want to roll that shoulder out, move the shoulder into the socket, puff out your armpits, and extend your armpits, your inner upper arms forward. Now, turn your palms up. It was like that top arm that we were doing in Gomukha-san. So the whole of the arm externally rotates. Strongly rotate this upper arm out and puff open the armpit. Now keep that upper arm externally rotating. Turn your forearm, your hand in and down. Feel the spread across the shoulders, the shoulder blades. The shoulders deep into the sockets, the armpits, puffing, spreading, lengthening. And you lengthen right from these side ribs through your armpits. And now from there, once more, come up, settle your hands, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Rooting through the index and the thumb, you're going to get that internal rotation of the forearm. Re-establish that external rotation of the upper arm. Shoulder deep into the socket. As you come up, puff out that armpit. Thighs up. Front thighs to back thighs. Lengthen the pubis to the sternal notch as you lift your sternum to your pubis. As you take your abdomen broadly back, descend the heels and lift the buttocks high. Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you breathe out, broadly spread the abdomen to the back body. Maintaining that broad abdomen back, come forwards once more. Halakasana. Inward rotation of the forearms as you root down through the index finger, the thumb. External rotation of the upper arms. Plug your upper arms into the shoulder socket. Settle your shoulder blades onto your back. Now front thighs back, pubis to sternum. Breathe out, abdomen broadly back. Navel broadly back. Broaden, lengthen the lumbar. Inhale, lift the buttocks. Exhale, heels down, buttocks up. And Adho Mukha Virasana. What's happened to those upper arms? Breathe. Come up once more. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So the few points of focus, yes, everything else is coming into play, but our main points of focus are these external rotation of the upper arms, shoulders in to open the armpits fully, so that we can breathe fully into this whole area of the lungs. And the other point of focus this morning, those front thighs firmly moving back onto the thigh bone to lengthen the pubis. From that, open, lengthen, spread your armpits by moving the shoulders into the joint. Keep the hips high as you inhale. Step your right leg forward in between your hands. Cup your fingertips. Retract that hip joint into the femur head, into the hip socket by drawing the outer hip back. Front thigh of the left leg moving firmly onto the bone, lengthen from the pubis to the sternal notch. And now broadly, as you breathe out, spread the abdomen back to the spine. So you might need a longer inhalation to enable that sharper, smoother exhalation. Abdomen settling. Flatten your hands. Lift your hips. Right leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Open, lengthen the armpits. Abdomen back as the front thighs move back. Inhale, lift your head, step your left leg forward. On the exhalation, settle the hips into the socket. Front thigh to back thigh. Lengthen the pubis to the sternal notch. Breathing. Deeper inhalation to get that sharper, stronger exhalation. Abdomen settling back. So in Sanskrit, we refer to this as a gentle Uddiyana Kriya. Uddiyana settles around the navel area, that fire energy spreading back into the abdomen.
flatten your hands, lift your hips, left leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come down, Adho Mukha Virasana. Keep that external rotation of the inner upper arms, shoulders into their joint to open the armpits. And then just for a moment, come sitting up and taking bricks. So Malaki very kindly just showed me and told me that if there are no bricks, if you don't have those sort of props, maybe 2 similar Tupperwares, shapes and sizes, I would suggest you put some sort of weight in them, maybe a bag of beans or rice or something, so they don't slide away from you. Or books, heavy books, but please make the books the same size so that you're using your so-called bricks that are the same size. Put those either side of the front edge of the mat. Adho Mukha Virasana. Breathing out, come up onto all fours. Inhale, tuck the toes in. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the feet slightly closer together. And from there, inhale, step your left leg forward. Come into that lunge once more. And then from there, internally rotate the right heel, pressing that outer right foot down. Take your prop. You might need the prop on its vertical if you need to come higher for Uttita Trikonasana. Otherwise, take your prop on its lower edge. But everybody for today, use some form of prop. Roll the inner upper arms out. So these shoulders will roll back. Move the shoulders into the joint. And now, move the front thighs to the back thighs. Lengthen the pubis to the sternal notch. Now, as you breathe out, broadly turn the whole of your abdomen, left to right. And up, if possible, at your right fingertips. Please, if neck issues, lengthen the base of the skull up off the top of the spine and keep looking forwards. Right arm down, remove your prop, raise that right heel, step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. As you breathe out, once more, bring your awareness back to that abdomen, broadly spreading. Feet once more, closer together. Inhale, lifting your hips, lunge the right leg forward. And taking your prop, the same as you did on the other side. So if you use the vertical brick, use that again this time. Firmly place the hand down. Internally rotate that left heel and turn. As you move your front thighs to your back thighs, can you cut this outer right hip back? So lengthen this outer right hip towards that left inner thigh, so that when this right buttocks can move into the body, it encourages the abdomen with the navel to turn to the left. So right buttocks deep into the body, and as you have that firm exhalation, abdomen back and turn. Front thighs back, pubis to sternal notch. Inhale. Bring your left arm down, remove your props, lift your hips, right leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Front thighs to back thighs, pubis to the collarbones, the sternal notch. Inner upper arms rotating. And from there, come back into Palakasana. Plug those upper arms into the shoulder socket. Root down through the wrist of the index finger, the thumb. Abdomen broadly back. 2 breaths if you can. Long, slow exhalations. Breathing out. Abdomen to side. Lift your hips. Bend your knees. Adho Mukha. Rest your arms now. Rest your palms under your forehead. Relax the shoulders. Soften, release the lower back. Soften the groins, the abdomen. Breathe. So when you do your own home practice, try and repeat that a few times, because with repetition, the hips will open more and you'll get more flexibility in the whole of the hip joint. But for today, we're going to lie down now onto your back, feet to the floor, rest your shoulders. And then take your left leg up, and for today, interlock your fingers behind the knee. So the knee joint remains open, and completely relaxing your left leg. Draw it as close to your trunk as possible. Relax the left foot. You can even rotate the ankle if there's any tension in the toes, the ankle. And release your left leg. And taking your right leg up, interlock your fingers behind the knee joint. So a lot of release for the knee joint, especially those of us that have knee problems. And if you want to, rotate the ankles, feet in and out. And then just draw the leg to the chest. From there, interlock your fingers behind the back of the knees now and draw both legs up. Supta Parvanmuktasana. Lengthen the upper buttocks. Let the buttocks even lift off the floor, the buttock bones themselves. Soften your inner groins. Relax your legs. Lift your head and bring your chin, your face, your forehead to your knees. And just round your back. Let go any tension, any tightness. And lengthening the back of the neck, bring your head to the floor. Extend the arms away from you. And now take your legs over to the left. Take your left hand onto your outer right knee. Relax your shoulders and turn your head and look at your right fingertips. Soften your right ear to the floor, your right cheek. Completely relax that right shoulder. Bring your head to center, release your left arm, draw your legs up as one unit and swing them over to the right. Right hand onto your left knee, relax your left shoulder, and if it's in it, turn your head over to your left fingertips. Soften the shoulder to the floor. Let go any tension that might have built up in your practice this morning. Head to center, release your right arm. Draw your legs towards you once more, interlocking your fingers behind the knee today. Once more, lift your head, lengthen the back of the neck. Ease the base of the skull up off the top of the spine, as if you're drawing by a thread the crown of your head beyond the end of your sticky mat as you place your head to the floor. So that as you release and soften the lower jaw, there's an alignment of the forehead through to the chin, that the head is flowing towards the heart center. If the head tends to throw back because of a number of reasons, then please take a blanket, take one of your cushions, put it behind the back of the head so that you get the gaze of the eyes to look slightly off the vertical. from there, release your legs, take your arms to about 45, 50 degrees. And push your feet into the floor. If I lift my arms, you want to see that you're sliding, like you pulling the upper buttocks towards your heels. It's like you're getting rid of that lumbar arch. You're pressing your lumbar to the floor. Stay there for a while and breathe out. 2, 3 breaths, spreading the abdomen back to the lumbar into the floor. And then from there, extend your legs out. Right leg, left leg. Please be free from the wall as you do that. And then, as you let go your legs, let that natural lumbar arch come into you. Close your eyes. Soften the tongue to the floor of the mouth. Relax your shoulders. As if the shoulders melt from solid to liquid, melting into the earth. Relax the arms, the palms. Relax the legs, right from the inner groins to the little toes. Letting the legs roll and melt to the side. And once more, bring your awareness to the abdomen, to that navel area. And have 2, 3, 4 longer out breaths, allowing the abdomen to broadly soften, surrender to the back body, to the earth. And then let go, even the breath. Let go. Your eyes closed, place your tongue behind your teeth and gently swallow the saliva. Press the tongue back into the floor of the mouth. Roll the legs towards each other, drawing one leg up, the other leg up. Extend your right arm over your head and roll completely to your right. Round your lower back. I'm going to roll to the left so that I'm with you. Bring the legs up as if you're in the fetal position. And then rolling a little more onto the front of the trunk, press down with your left hand or right hand. And sit. Sukhasana, happy, contented pose. Palms into Adnan Shalimukha. Eyes remaining softly closed as you bring yourself back to that soft, open, smiling heart. And bow your head to your heart. Making your own inner acknowledgements of thanks, gratitude to your practice. And your own inner guru, that innate knowing, knowledge, wisdom. Raise your head, your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for being with me, and thank you, everyone, for joining in.